On every highway across America, there is one undeniable symbol of rebellion: the chopper. It is a machine stripped down to its very essence. A motorcycle built on an act of defiance, designed to escape rules, limits, and conformity. It doesn't ask for permission. It demands attention. This isn't a simple story of engineering or corporate history, though both play a crucial role. This is the untold saga of how a single style of motorcycle, crude, uncomfortable, yet undeniably cool, became the uniform of the outlaw, defining the global image of Harley-Davidson forever. The chopper is the ultimate statement that the machine is yours, and yours alone, to redesign and redefine. Welcome back to Chrome Chronicles. Today, we ride the twisted timeline of the chopper, from post-war necessity to a Hollywood legend and a permanent cultural icon. We will uncover the philosophy, the physics, and the personalities that cemented the Harley V-twin as the engine of American freedom. The story begins just after World War II. Returning American servicemen, particularly those who flew fighter jets or rode military bikes like the Harley-Davidson WLA, were accustomed to stripping their machines of any unnecessary weight to increase speed and performance. When they came home, they applied this same aggressive philosophy to their newly bought civilian Harleys, Indians, and Triumphs. They started with the bobber. The term comes from the practice of bobbing the rear fender, cutting it shorter and removing the bulky front fender entirely for a cleaner, faster look. They eliminated heavy stock headlamps, excess chrome, and sometimes even the front brakes to shed crucial pounds and gain a few miles per hour on the dry lake beds and newly built highways. The bobber was a practical modification driven by performance and speed. The chopper, however, was purely aesthetic and ideological. Chopping meant literally hacking off parts, but most importantly, modifying the frame's core geometry. The shift from bobber to chopper was marked by a fundamental change in the motorcycle's stance. The key was the rake, the angle of the front forks relative to the ground. Stock motorcycles typically have a rake of around 30 degrees for stability. Chopper builders would ruthlessly cut the neck of the frame, known as the steering head, and re-weld it at a sharper, more aggressive angle, often exceeding 40 degrees. This allowed for the signature long, extended front forks, which pushed the front wheel dramatically out into the air. This engineering change made handling tricky at slow speeds, but it gave the bike an imposing, stretched-out profile, a clear statement of nonconformity. The chopper aesthetic was born not for speed, but for spectacle. As American conformity peaked in the 1950s, the chopper became the uniform of a new, emerging subculture, the outlaw motorcycle clubs, OMCs. These groups consciously rejected the white picket fence idealism of post-war American society, seeking community and freedom outside the norms. They needed a symbol as radical as their lifestyle. The chopper fit perfectly. In the eyes of the straight-laced public, the chopper was deliberately impractical, loud, and inherently dangerous. The rigid frame, often a hardtail conversion, and the extreme rake made low-speed maneuverability difficult. These were not commuter machines. They were machines for breaking every rule and traveling great distances on a whim. The clubs pioneered and standardized iconic chopper features. They introduced the impossibly tall ape hangers, handlebars that forced the rider's hands above the shoulders, often reaching high above the head, a gesture of absolute disregard for comfort or police visibility. They favored the small king or peanut fuel tanks, minimal range for maximum style, and they fitted the sissy bar, a tall, extended backrest, originally used to strap sleeping bags and gear, but which soon became a stylistic element reaching high into the sky. Hollywood quickly recognized the raw, visual power of this movement. While earlier movies like The Wild One, 1953, created the initial fear of the lone biker. It was Easy Rider in 1969 that truly immortalized the chopper and cemented its place in global popular culture. The two bikes. From the film Captain America, with its iconic star-spangled paint, and Billy's bike, were built on stripped-down Harley-Davidson panheads. They weren't just props. They were characters. They became the definitive blueprint for every chopper built since, inspiring a generation to cut, weld, and stretch their own bikes. For American youth in the late 60s, the chopper was no longer just a custom motorcycle. It was a rolling declaration of independence, rebellion against Vietnam, and a quest for open-road freedom. Harley-Davidson, almost accidentally, became the face of anti-establishment culture, a status the company still capitalizes on today. That it's crucial to understand why Harley-Davidson engines became the exclusive power plant for the chopper movement. In the 1960s, British manufacturers dominated performance racing, but their smaller engines often lacked the necessary torque and durability for long-distance cruising in a heavily modified frame. The large, air-cooled Harley V-twin, be it the Panhead, Shovelhead, or later the Evolution, offered two things that custom builders demanded: torque for hauling a massive, heavy machine, and an aesthetic look that was unparalleled. Its V-angle and exposed mechanical components were beautiful, rugged, and easy to maintain and modify. When you stripped everything away, the Harley engine itself was the artistic centerpiece. Furthermore, chopper builders overwhelmingly favored the hardtail design for their custom builds. Even before Harley-Davidson introduced the softail, they often removed the rear swing arm and shocks entirely, welding the rear axle directly to the frame. This was brutal on the spine, but it achieved that perfectly clean, straight line from the steering neck to the rear axle. It was a technical choice made purely for style over comfort, the ultimate sacrifice for the outlaw image. This outlaw spirit eventually forced Harley-Davidson to respond commercially. They couldn't ignore the massive global demand for the custom look. Starting in the 1970s, under designer Willie G. Davidson, Harley began incorporating chopper aesthetics into factory models. The very first model to blend the factory frame with a custom look was the FX Super Glide, 1971. It took the big touring frame but bolted on the smaller Sportster front end and a custom seat. It was a factory-built custom, an acknowledgement that the spirit of chopping had to be embraced. The key legacy the chopper left is the powerful idea that the motorcycle is an unfinished product. Choppers emphasized individuality above all else. Every aspect was a personal declaration. From the tiny, sculpted gas tanks and the wildly positioned foot controls to the intense, custom flake and candy paint jobs that made the bikes shine like jewels. The influence is crystal clear today. Look at the modern Softail Breakout, with its heavily raked-out front end and wide rear tire. It is a direct, factory-built descendant of the chopper aesthetic. Even the high T-bar style of the contemporary Lowrider S owes its aggressive stance to the outlaw Dyna and the choppers that preceded it. The chopper movement proved that riding was a deeply personal declaration. It wasn't about simply buying a machine. It was about the absolute freedom to define your machine and your life however you saw fit. That is the genius and the enduring power of the outlaw's choice. The chopper is a permanent, indelible mark on American culture. It is raw, uncomfortable, and impractical, which is precisely why it remains the ultimate icon of rebellion and freedom. It is a work of art, created with a welder, a grinder, and a defiant spirit. IT forced a multi-billion-dollar corporation to adopt the style of the very people they were originally trying to ignore. Harley-Davidson didn't invent the chopper, but it wouldn't be Harley-Davidson without it. That is the true power of the outlaw's choice. Thank you for riding with Chrome Chronicles. Did you ever own a chopper? Or have you customized your Harley with that outlaw spirit? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for the next saga, where we dive into the incredible history of the legendary V-twin engine itself. We'll break down the panhead, shovelhead, and evolution. See you on the road.